I applaud the reinsurers for actually being the drivers of this.
Yeah.
I don't think the industry would have changed on its own if they didn't have to. And I think the reinsurers have it right. And yes, and that has been our experience as we come over to London and talk to folks, is that there is more of a demand for accurate data. And more importantly, they're actually holding you responsible if it's not. And that's, at least in my experience, that they've never really done before. You know, there's always law of large numbers, and I got this whole book. Now it's more of, you need to get this right when you come talk to us, or it's going to cost you. And they are driving change. And I think they're the only ones that could. The reinsurance market is the only place, the only force that could really drive that change.
Yeah, it's certainly the tone that we've seen across the market is this expectation of data quality now. And as you pointed out, like a willingness to be a little bit punitive for people who don't have very good data. It's less about maybe being punitive, but more about like, listen, we know how bad this can play out if we get this wrong. And if we don't know, what was the thing that we heard all the time in the white papers? Nothing we don't know is good, right? If you said we can't tell you anything more, it's like, well, I'm just going to assume the worst case scenario here. And I think that's playing out on the property side as well as other parts of the industry and casualty and underlying data across any type of portfolio. But more so once you begin to prove out the failings of those underlying books of data from these exposures, like these sort of quote unquote safe zones we used to have,
right,
when they have massive claims, realizing, oh, there's a huge amount of issue here. Like now that we know that, it's like the light is shining brighter on those areas going, we cannot just take it at face value anymore. We need to have evidence that this has been corrected or adjusted for or similar.